Welcome back, Warriors. It is me. It is the Cyber Warrior. This is Cyber Warrior Studios, and I know what you're all here for. You're all here for another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour. And look, don't get it twisted. It's going to be a great show. It is the beginning of the holiday season. Actually, for some people, it started right after Thanksgiving, but I'm going to start it right now, even though this tree has been behind me for about a week now. So either way, I got a great show planned. We got a great guest planned, and it's going to be an amazing episode. So hang out. Take care, and we'll be back in about 10 seconds. So we're back, and it is me, the Cyber Warrior. With me, I have the one, the only InfoSec Pat. Pat, thank you for joining us this evening. It was kind of a last-minute addition. I was kind of like, here, jump on, because I had a guest cancel yesterday, and you were so grateful to be like, hey, I'll join.
Yeah. No, I'm super stoked. Super stoked, and it's always a pleasure hanging out and talking with you and shooting the stuff and answering any questions if anyone else has. So I'm super stoked, and thank you for having me. And anytime.
Yeah, definitely. And so I got Nat here from Twitter who joined. Now it looks like I can't talk back to Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn. So if you are here from any of those three sites, thank you for joining. YouTube is probably the best. That's where you'll get the most interaction, but I appreciate you joining from any of those three. Now, saying that, today I want to talk about cybersecurity for the holidays, right? Because there's a lot of things going on, shopping. We've got people taking PTO. So we have a lot of things that attackers don't care about. So in terms of that, what do you think is going to be the biggest issue heading into the holiday season, whether it's personal or business?
Oh, that's a good one. And I think just because a lot of people are out, maybe even C-level management, and everyone posts stuff on the interwebs, right? If it's Facebook, Instagram, not so much LinkedIn personal stuff. Some people do. But say, for example, I know ABC Incorporated is a target of mine, a competitor of mine, or whatever of mine. Maybe I'll do some reconnaissance on that target and see when Joe Blow or John Doe, the CEO, or someone is going to be on vacation, right? Now I can say, okay, who's, the receptionist, or who's someone that looks like low-hanging fruit? Let's say it's Sally Mae. So now I can craft up something crafty, do some phishing, and see if they can buy us some gift cards, because during the holidays, if there's a bonus, maybe there's gift cards. Like, I don't know where my gift card is. I did get a gift card. And, like now it's like, okay, we're going to ask John Doe, or John Doe is going to be sending out an email to Sally because Sally does all the gift card buying. And that's where it gets really, really important for like security awareness training for our end users, because this time of year is a lot of attackers will go ahead and utilize that and leverage that for any kind of attacks.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the big things is, when we look at that, I don't know why. It's like we've gotten from like the old Nigerian phishing scams where it's like, send me money, like do a Western Union money transfer, to, hey, buy an iTunes gift card or a whatever gift card. I don't know why they don't go with Visa. Like, just go with the Visa freaking gift cards. Why do you need iTunes? Like, send me a Visa gift card and I can use it for whatever instead of just Apple. But whatever the case may be, it's turned into, hey, send me these gift cards. And Griffin InfoSec is completely correct. He said, lots of scams, lots of attacks, especially when defenders are out on holiday.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing I think of. If anything, us as defenders, us as security people within organizations have learned, is that the holidays is when a lot of these things happen. Not just phishing, but ransomware, any major attack, you can count on it happening on a holiday.
Yeah, because for hackers, there is no holiday, right? So, like we don't take off or they don't take off or whatever. And obviously, as a defender, you should be more alerted. maybe tweak your Splunk or whatever you're using for your SIM tool. Maybe look for a little more. For an example, like if we're using, we were talking about Office 365, right? There's called geolocation
Yep.
inside of Defender, inside of Azure AD or Intune, or what is it called now? I always called it Azure AD. So now, like if I'm trying to authenticate through somewhere in South, whatever, not in the US, we're going to get a ding in our log that's saying, okay, we're trying
Yep.
to, connect through whatever. And obviously, so,
Yeah.
and you can try to, go, and if they're using something like Okta or some kind of uh, IAM tool, we can, see if we can, as an attacker, right? We're going to try to see if we can use OTP bypass, which one-time password bypass, and do all the crafty stuff that us attackers will do. And then, as the defender, you will put your countermeasures in place, especially maybe you'll tighten it around from a little before Thanksgiving to the first week after January.
Yeah, definitely. And VPNs make that hard. They make it extremely difficult. Um, and Misha, as always, brings up a great point. And we're going to get to you, Misha, because it's more on the personal side of things. But Owned also said something. Check for those concurrent logins from multiple locations.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big thing because even with MFA, there's ways to bypass it, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
If you look at how to do things like O365 bypass and standing up, pages through Nginx and evil Nginx and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's ways to beat the MFA. It is not all encompassing. It doesn't secure you completely. Nothing ever does. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you're looking at this, you have to look from that multiple location aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it unreal travel, or what's the term? Can't think of it, but it's basically I logged in from Ohio, and now I'm logged in from Israel in the course of, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's possible. Because
Yeah.
in 30 minutes you can get from one to the other. Impossible travel. That's it.
Yeah.
Griffin.
Impossible travel. Yeah.
So things like that you got to be on the lookout for. And so I think that's a big thing right now within organizations and being able to catch that.
Mm-hmm. No. And yeah, intra ID. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know who did impossible travel really well and it really hurt for a lot of people was Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
They legitimately did. I don't give a damn what anybody says about games. There were ways to spoof your location on there to get Pokemon from different countries and things like that. But if they saw you do it within, hey, I'm logged in Japan because they have a certain one, but then you get on your phone and want to catch things near you, and it's been an hour, they were like, yeah, no, homie, no, you
Mm-hmm.
cheated, you're banned. Like, no, this can't happen.
Yep.
They did it really, really well. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we need to get better at that as an organization.
Yeah. No, most definitely. I think that's super, super critical. And yeah, like I think there's so talking about the whole infosec, pen testing, blue teaming, etc. I think more importantly is the blue team, right? We are the defenders. We're trying to put countermeasures in place for those adversaries or those bad guys. And the bad guys are always going to be one step ahead. Like you're talking about Nginx or evil Nginx and all this other tools that we can utilize. John did a video on bypassing and, token session hijacking and all this other
Yep.
jazzy jazz. And it's incredible, right? Because I remember, say, 5 to 10 years ago, like hacking was just so plain Jane, right? Now it's so crafty. So
It is, but it's so much. I don't want to say it's easier, but it's easier.
yeah.
In that, if you're willing to do some research,
Mm-hmm.
the tools designed to help blue teams,
Mm-hmm.
just like anything, a tool designed for good can be used for evil.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of the tools designed to help our red teams, our blue teams, and things like that have been turned against us.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you have things like Wireshark. which now with Wireshark is meant to monitor network traffic. Now I can use it to poison your traffic and send whatever I want.
Exactly.
With Burp Suite, it was meant to do certain things, and now I can use it to bypass anything I want. So you look at these tools that were designed for good and are being used for evil. And so some people say, well, quit designing offensive tools. Well, it's not designing an offensive tool. It's a tool that is meant for a certain purpose that gets used for a different one.
True. I found out that they just send the logins.
Let's see. What up? We got owned. I've found that Microsoft Data Center logins, as well as logins from mobile devices, looking for those legit compromises from impossible travel alerts. Trying to grasp the verbiage there, but it looks like, yeah, Microsoft does do again. So, all right, I'm gonna hide this because I'm gonna talk on something. And Pat, you may be able to relate. Have you ever worked with Silence, Pat?
Yeah.
All right. Silence
the EDR,
was one of
right?
the very, very first EDR tools that hit the market. But people installed it, thought it was an AV, never configured it.
Yep.
Meaning it did jack shit. As a base install, didn't do anything. So people were like, oh, Silence is garbage. This, that, the third. Like, nah, homie, if you went into the back end, you actually configured shit, configured policies, disabled scripts, all this other stuff. It actually worked really well. Microsoft is the same way.
Yep.
Microsoft and Defender especially, if configured properly, can catch and stop a lot of these things. But you have people, they're like, oh, but my guys log in from VPN. Is it your VPN or somebody else's VPN? Because that's where the question is going to play. Because if it's your VPN, it should be home station and be no big deal.
Yep.
But if it's a other VPN, now you don't know where they're coming out of. And so now, yeah, you're going to run into these issues. So from a business aspect and possible travel, it can very likely happen, and Microsoft won't catch it because you didn't configure it because of, well, we got people from other countries or VPNs or da-da-da-da.
True.
Big issue. I want to talk a little bit, though, and Misha set it up here, about the retail aspect, about the personal aspect, about those that are not really cybersecurity people. All the new laptop kids are getting, secure them before giving them. What's your take on that? Because you got to think it's a Christmas present. It's something you're giving to somebody. Like, I know my take because I've done it. I got 5 boys. I got nieces and nephews. Like, I've gone down this route. What's your take?
Yeah. So there's a couple takes on this. Like last year, for example, I got my uncle a laptop for Christmas. Actually, last year, my little, my daughter, she has a laptop, but obviously it wasn't a gift. It was more like for you. So I'm gonna set it up prior to giving it to her. So, but I think it's a catch-22, right? So it's like, shit, do I open this box, configure it, look like I just got a used fucking refurb laptop as a gift, right? Or if it's someone close, like, a family member or something like that, you can just tell them, once you give it to them, be right there when they open that gift and say, before we start using it, I would like to secure it prior to doing that. And obviously, if it's a gift that you're shipping, right? You say, for example, you're not going to be with that, person or that relative or whatever. Maybe you can ship it to your house, configure it, secure it, put your RMM tool, however you manage that device, because you're probably the IT support for your family, and then box
we all
it up.
are.
Yeah. And then just box it up and just put a little note in there. Say, this was Pat. I opened it. I configured it. Don't worry. No one.
I love you.
I love you. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's super critical. And that's something that's really a good thing, right? Secure it before you give it to them. Like that. I never thought about that.
Yeah. And so what I've done, I actually got pissed at my sister one year. And this was growing up. Like, I had already been in college and whatever. That everybody knew I knew computers and fix shit. And she bought a like $300-400 e-machine. For anybody who ever bought retail and saw that bullshit deals E-Machine had.
Yeah. And
She
EMC
did
used to be
that, and then
gateway.
had Geek
Mhm.
Squad do its security on it, and paid what, an extra $200-300 to have them do it. I'm like,
I think they were called what? Geek Squad MRI, like the
well,
MRI.
no. So there was the tech desk or tech whatever.
Mhm.
Then Geek Squad itself, and it's just one company, Geek Squad,
Yep.
merged with Best Buy. I don't know if they partnered, bought them
Yep.
out, whatever the fuck happened. And so then it became Geek Squad. So instead of the tech people being tech people,
Mhm.
a lot of the guys I knew, because I worked at Best Buy at the time, left. They're like, we're not playing this. I'm gonna follow a checklist game. Like, I know my shit. I know how to fix things. Fix it. Geek Squad turned into your typical IT kind of repair place of it's not this, it's not this. I plugged this USB in, it did all these checks. I didn't find anything. Here you go. Like,
Yep.
that's what it turned into. Whereas before Geek Squad bought it, it was you had an actual legitimate help desk, like tech support, like people that knew computers.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys I knew literally ran torrent servers. Like, he would download shit. He knew his antivirus. He knew his everything. My man knew everything. And
Yeah.
I'd go to him like, look, homie, I'm running this issue. Like, what's the fix? He'd be like, you want to do this, this, and this. All right, cool, bet. But when Geek Squad bought it, you weren't allowed to do X, Y, and Z. It
Yeah.
was, if ABC don't work out, it's broke, homie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not how IT works. So, yeah, with that, I've even my son's computer I built, and I put security on it before I gave it to him. I
Yeah.
will always, but again, it comes down to licensing, right? Because it costs money.
Yep.
So if it's a gift for someone not in your household that you're not paying for, give them 30 days to a year, secure it, and then go about your merry way. Right? Like, hey, I'll pay for it for a year, or I'll pay for it for 6 months. Because what is it? Another $80 these days to throw security on a system?
Mhm.
Like, all right, after you've already spent three, four, $500, what's $80? Throw it on there. It's good for a year, and then just don't renew it. Like, literally
Yeah.
cancel the subscription and let it lapse after the year unless they want to pay for it. I think that's the best way about it. But to sit here and say you should maintain that cost unless they live in your house, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
my subscriptions are literally for all my devices. I pay for like 5 or 6, and I forget how many Bitdefender gives me, but I pay for enough that it covers my house and mobile devices. Not all of
Nice.
them, but the iPhones don't allow EDR or AV anyways,
Mhm.
so it's only the Android devices I got to worry about.
Yep. Yeah, and Owen said, yeah, there's a lot of open source tools
Yeah,
out there too. Like I use them, he uses them.
I use them.
There's, like, and there's everything that I run in my house on my
But
uncle's computer.
you got to understand, for families out there, there's people that don't understand the open source concept and free for use. So they're going to go out there, and this is my problem. They're going to rely on stores or companies. What can you sell me?
Hmm.
And so the reason I pay for Bitdefender is because it's not in stores.
Yeah,
So why am I going to find a way around a software that's not available to the general public? It
yeah,
is, but it's not, right? I can't go to a store and buy it.
yeah,
So for personal use, nobody's going to try to find a way around it. Well, a few people will, but it's kind
yeah,
of like the reason you buy Mac and use Linux is because it's not Gen Pop.
yeah,
Who the fuck's going to worry about it?
yeah. No, that's a fun fact. That's so true.
There's
Yeah,
ways around it. I have found ways around it. And I told Bitdefender, and they were
yeah,
like, do a write up for us so we can fix it. And I was like, that's a lot of work. I don't like doing it. I did. I told them, I was like, yo, I did this. They're like, all right, tell us how. I was like, nah, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen.
yeah. That's true, man. Like it's just crazy. It's just crazy how all this EDR, antivirus bypassing, and invasion, and
Dude, for me, with Bitdefender, it was as simple as authorize an application. I took a Python script that was legitimately just a backdoor. That was its only purpose,
hmm
and converted it to an exe. I ran Py to exe on it, It ran a listener, and that's all it did. There was no reason for it.
Yeah.
And Bitdefender looked at it, and when Windows authorized it, because we're going back to the days of UAC when it was really, really heavily utilized, not like it is today, where it needs to install something. And it was like, "Do you want to?" Yeah, go ahead. My Bitdefender didn't say shit. It was just kind of like, "Okay, Windows allow it, we'll allow it." Now it's probably different now. Probably couldn't get away with the same thing, but it was still there.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago. Things have come a long way. I'm sure if I tried that again, it wouldn't work. But all I did was build my own Python tunnel as a listener or receiver. I forget which route I went, but
yeah, it would
I
probably
think
be
it was a bind
receiving.
tunnel or a reverse pro. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was reverse TCP or bind TCP. I don't know. I put some type of listener in there, and I was just kind of like, "All right, here you go," and I could do whatever I wanted. And I hit up Bitdefender and was like, "Yo, homies," and they were like, "All right, do a write up." I didn't know if they were going to pay me. It wasn't like there was a
bug bounty or whatever,
bug bounty or anything out there for it. I just happened to do it because I used it on a regular basis. And they were like, "All right, cool, do a write up." And I was like, "Man, I got a wife, kids, I got a life, I got shit to do. I ain't got time for that. That's going to be too much work."
Yeah.
Then I got to figure out exactly what I did again. No, I'm good. Like, that ain't me. But it's possible. Like, the simplest things can bypass antivirus, EDR, things like that. And we just got to understand that don't do dumb shit. Don't do dumb shit. That's how you fix your system. Patch it and don't do dumb shit. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
And it's funny that you say that because, before I started using some open source EDR and I was just using it just to test some stuff. And I never used antivirus and I never, let me knock on wood, like I never got infected, and I used to use back then like LimeWire, Netscape.
Me and you both.
All the old school shit. And I never got infected, unless I did and people were just looking at my shit and I clicked on something that was connected to a
I did
CMP server.
purposely.
Huh?
I have purposely been infected via MySpace. Did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's
But
always.
But again, don't do dumb shit. And this goes back to, all right, 2 stories. One, back when MySpace was prevalent, they had, of course, you could code your own shit, like that's how a lot of people learned HTML and all these other things. And so with that, you would come across these pages that had, "Oh, download this if you want to view my page," and I wasn't stupid. I'm like, "No, that's fucking a virus. Fuck that." And 99% of the time, I went about my merry way. But I got curious. And I was like, "What's this going to do?" I'm kind of curious. What's it going to do to my system? I know it's a virus. I know it's malware. I know it's going to fuck shit up. What's it going to do? So I said, "Yeah, download that." I had Vista at the time. And said, "Hey, are you sure you want to do this?" "Yeah, fuck you. Go and do whatever you want to do." Big mistake.
Hopefully, I had a fucking patch for that shit.
To this day, I don't think I ever got rid of it. I think I ended up redoing my system and giving it to my sister, like wiping everything, literally
Like
shredding every
writing
file,
zeros
doing
for
everything,
that.
giving that computer to my sister. But like, it was a I don't know if it was a logic bomb, whatever, but it was basically a bunch of pop-ups, bunch of porn pop-ups that just kept coming, right? And so like I had to use Alt Tab and Control Shift Escape, and like I got to MS config, disabled it, rebooted my computer, and it never showed back up again. I never got rid of it. I just disabled it from startup.
Yeah.
And literally nothing caught it. Nothing. No antivirus I had on there caught it because it was already installed.
Yeah.
And it was like, "All right, cool, you're good to go." I'm like, "No, I'm not, but all right, we'll go about our merry way. At least I ain't getting pop-up after pop-up now."
Yeah. Fuck,
I did that one. And then the other one I did back when I used to download torrents, I used to do a bunch of shit. Love my movies, love my TV shows. I didn't read the comments on one of the torrents I was going to download. Actually, two of them. The first one was Star Trek, the Star Trek movie that came out. And I didn't read them, and I just downloaded it. And here, if you read the comments, it said, "Hey, there's a watcher on this that says it's you're going to get flagged." Yep, that got me a letter from Verizon. And then the other one was a Heroes download that I didn't look at the comments. That, of course, the comments after I went back into it said, "Hey, this one was going to get flagged." I downloaded like 9 seasons of Heroes or however many there was. Yep, that one got me a letter from Verizon, and it was at that point I was like, "I'm done downloading now."
Yeah, that I did.
2 letters, I'm done. I can't go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. You want the feds knocking on your door, and that actually happened. It didn't happen to me. So, like, in the home I'm living in about 10 years ago, probably I used to rent out rooms before I had my daughter. So I used to live in my room, and this room was rented, and then that's what I did. I had a little side hustle, fucking renting rooms in my house, like Patty's Orphanage, and so like obviously I was like, this was longer than that, probably. Fuck, like 15 years ago now, 14 years ago. But I wasn't smart enough to like really know. I did
What the fuck
IT
is
back
going
then. I was
on?
just like a
Yeah.
network. So yeah, I did get an infringement fucking thing from not Verizon, from Xfinity or Comcast
Yeah.
back then, saying, "Oh, you better delete this thing." I'm like, I didn't even fucking download that. And the kid that was living with me, I'm like, "Yo, like, are you downloading fucking?" And he was downloading like that movies and for a lot of people that know me, like I'm not really into movies and none of that stuff. I'm just more into sports, right? And so like when I used to download shit, it used to be like, okay, like I'm downloading, the XP with that doesn't need a key.
Windows and games
Yeah,
and
like
look,
Windows,
I'm a techie
Office.
homie, but I always looked at that. That's the sad part is I was more suspicious of like software and operating systems than I was movies and TV shows. I was like, these are good. That shit, I'm a little fuzzy on. I don't trust that.
Yeah, and that was literally the only things that I would download. I would download things for friends, like remember, like I never messed with Adobe since recently, like owned where
Oh,
whatever.
so you were like me. You would download the entire Adobe suite.
Yeah, like the
And
C3 suite, C4. I think they went up to what, C6, and then that's when they went to the cloud.
yeah, something
Um,
like that. C6, C7, yeah.
yeah, and then you can like download it, have like the 172.0.0.1 as your
Yep.
host file, and make some modification point, whatever, and then make some reg cracks and some key gens or whatever. And that's what I
And
used
even
to
then, you
do.
didn't even need all that. Like there were certain things about it. People would just pass down in the download, like, "Hey, use this user key, and you're good to
Exactly,
go." And you're like, "All right, cool, bet."
exactly,
As long as it wasn't used 15 times by the time you found it, you were good to go.
exactly. So like that's more of what I did on torrents. Like the only things I torrented personally was like Office and like the newest version of the operating systems. Um, so that was it. I never torrented anything really. Like music. I
So
guess using
do you
LimeWire.
think that in this day and age, what do you think is the biggest risk to users? Not business, not fishing, like users as a whole in the holiday season, what is the biggest risk?
I, I think scammers, right? And the reason why I say that is because like my father, right? My father's pretty witty, right? He's old school, like
Yeah.
like he doesn't trust his fucking own sons, right? So Owen knows him. So like he's a funny guy. Like he doesn't trust his own shadow. He's from New York. He's an old school Italian guy. So like he would get like Amazon fucking like text messages, like, oh,
Mhm.
he's like, he calls me up, Pat, I don't even have a fucking Amazon. I don't even go online. You know what I mean? How do his and so a lot of people and he asked me how the fuck these people get my phone number. And obviously I'm like, it's super easy to get your number, Dad. Like you exist and you can go to fucking, these OSINT tools and everything like that to actually get your number. And or maybe someone knows me that they fucking Googled me and they see John Gorman is a part of me and blah blah blah. And you can see how the cycle goes. But anyhow, like so he would like call me and talk about these attacks and like
Yeah.
I got a text message. So to answer your question, like I think the biggest risk is the elderly. My uncle, my father's not old; he's 59, so he's not like super old, but he's still like he still doesn't understand technology.
He's old enough that if he chose to understand the tech, he could.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
because of how he grew up, he's blind to it. He came up,
exactly.
didn't buy a computer, didn't really know computers.
Yep.
And it has a phone, and it's like, well, I got an iPhone because it
Exactly.
says Apple. Like
No, he had
that's
an iPhone
really
because his
it.
kids bought it for him. That's fucking. Before he had the flip phone forever. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you say, "Oh, he's blinded." He is blind, half blind. He's blind in one eye. Literally and figuratively. Um, but yeah, like I think that's the biggest risk, right? My aunt, my uncle's wife, same kind of thing, and that's why I made a video on that, like with the Amazon scam, right? Like a real link from a fake link, and you can use
Yep.
like PyFisher or whatever kind of phishing. You can even use a social engineering toolkit to clone the, you know, whatever Amazon.com, and you
That
can.
is my shit. I love
I love
SEO.
the set tool. I fuck with that all the time.
So fucking amazing, dude. That's how I learned Python. Was
Yeah,
reading that tool. I was like, I need to know more about this, and read the fucking shit out of that code, and was like, I'm lost. I don't know what's going to where, but this is amazing.
yeah, yeah. The set tool, I use that a lot. Like I use it quite often. And even though like there's other stuff like Zfisher, PyFisher,
Yep.
there's a whole bunch of like basic Python scripts we can run, and then we can select, okay, we want to clone, you know, whatever, Instagram, and try to get someone's, you know, credentials and shorten the URL or make your own domain and make it look all pretty and craft it up, you know, pretty slick. But it, you know, obviously it's still like something that holds a place in your heart, right? When you're using the set tool, because it's like it feels like more legit than, you know, downloading something from GitHub and just fucking
Yeah.
executing. I don't know,
Yeah.
at least for me.
I look at I look at things a few ways.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a few things here in the chat that are very valid. The set tool, when you're looking at short URLs, when you're looking at websites you land on, and bit flipping and phishing scams, and the way these things go from an organizational standpoint, even from a personal standpoint, it's very important. Which is why I always tell people, if Amazon sends you an email and says, hey, your account says X, Y, and Z, go to Amazon.com, literally type into your browser Amazon.com, log in, look for whatever they're saying. If there's no alerts in your fucking shit, nothing is in your account, you're fine. Don't click on it.
Yeah.
USPS. So we're looking at
Mm-hmm.
United States Postal Service. If there is nothing there, don't click on any links that are sent to you. UPS, same way. If anything says it has been stopped and we are awaiting your confirmation, don't click it.
Yeah.
Please, 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 please don't click it. Nothing's awaiting your confirmation. I know because I get all the text messages from all of my carriers that tell me what the fuck's coming to my house. Never once will it say, awaiting your confirmation to deliver.
Yeah.
Just doesn't. Please share this with your friends and family because it's very true. No organization for shipping will say awaiting for you to approve a delivery. If it is being sent to you, it'll get sent to you.
Yeah.
That is all. That's my TED Talk.
Yeah. No, it's so true, right? It's so legit. Like, and it sucks. And if anyone ever watches, like, I think it's Scammer Payback. Like, I think that's
Oh, I love that guy's shit. I love it.
Pierogi.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and actually, John Hammond and a guy Ryan Montgomery or Zero Day, they were on that, and Zero Day lives right by me, and yeah, like it's super crazy, you know, like stopping real cash, like old folks who be like just like sending thousands of dollars in a fucking taping up a box and just shipping it out, you know, just because, you know, these Habibis or whatever the fuck you want to call them, like they just do their shit and
Well, one of the other things we got to worry about is AI, right? Because now, so in the old days, you had voice modulators
mm-hmm,
that would just change your voice. You couldn't replicate anything.
mm-hmm,
Now you can replicate people's voices.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're having phone calls go out with people replicating your grandkids, your kids, your nieces, your nephews, your uncles, your aunts, your grandparents, saying, "Hey, I got stuck here. Can you send me money?"
Yep.
That is a huge issue.
Mm-hmm.
Keep track of your family, because if they've never asked you for anything before, if you're not that close to them that they told you they were traveling, they're not going to call you and ask for money.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't talked to my, so and so for X amount of years, but I'm going to call them and ask them for like $500. Like, that shit ain't happening, homie. Like,
Yeah.
let's think about this. And if your granddaughter or your grandson or your niece or your nephew are traveling, wouldn't they call their parents first, or
Yeah.
their whatever? Like, you might want to call, your daughter or your uncle or whatever, and be like, "Hey, did so and so really, like, did this shit really happen?" Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They really, okay, cool. Like, seriously, we need to start double checking. Be paranoid. I'm sorry. Be paranoid.
Yeah. No.
When it comes to this shit, when it comes to scams, be paranoid.
Yeah. No. I agree. And there's always someone trying to one up you, right? Get over, rob you
Hmm.
in any way, fashion. And especially like after there was always scams and always phishing and always thieves and fucking, all those kind
Yeah,
of people. But like before, like especially after COVID, right? Because now like for a year and a half, 2 years, everyone's fucking stuck in a house and everyone's was on pretty much like, on their own little thing. And now it's like, okay, now I'm gonna actually pay attention, see what's going on, and I don't know, scammers galore, and it was
scammers are gonna scam, dude. That,
yeah,
like, that's the way it is. But this is also the same as like catfishing and everything else. People
hmm
are gonna try to get everything out of you that they can. In this in this way of life, in our industry, in the things that we do, we develop a network. We
hmm
develop people that we rely on, that we trust, that we believe in.
hmm
Even those can fall through. So this is I don't know. Maybe it's me being a cynic, but you have to have a close knit group of people that you rely on and can talk to.
hmm
That's in your personal life, that's in your professional life. And if you don't do that, then you're going to have issues, because now people are going to come out the woodwork and say, "Hey, can you send me X, Y, and Z? Can you do this, that, and this?" Because of whatever reason. And if your circle is too large, if you have enabled all of these things, people are going to take advantage of you.
yeah,
I'm sorry, content creators, myself, you, KevTech, so many others, will
hmm
fall victim to people stealing their identity and then sending out messages like, "Hey, I need a gift card for this, that, and a third," or "Hey, send me this and I'll send you that." It happens.
yeah,
And people are like, "Oh, why'd you ask me for money? Why'd you do this, that, and the third?" And it's like, it wasn't me.
yeah. And
You were an
speaking on
idiot.
that, yeah, speaking on that, like I think the bigger you get, right, the bigger we get in like subscribers or just have a platform that we do get recognized, we're going to have more impersonations, right? Like I had several accounts created from Instagram, Facebook, infosec pad or whatever. Like now I'm verified, right? So it's a little harder to impersonate me, or at least if they do, I can just contact Meta, say it's an impersonation, whatever, and they whack that account. But a lot of people are trying to scam people, like, oh, I can get your Instagram back, I can get your Facebook back. Oh, don't call Google, I can retrieve your emails or whatever. And they're just robbing people and they're never getting their shit back.
Hold
And
up. The
then,
fact that you said that, and I'm gonna stop you right there.
mhm,
The only company, only, that will truly recover your shit is Google. Meta doesn't give a damn about you.
no,
Your shit might as well be lost unless you know someone in support that can open a ticket for you.
yep,
And Twitter, I hope you know somebody also, or you're paying for verification these days. Before you didn't have to pay, but now you do. So I hope you're paying for verification, because Google is the only one that'll be like, what was your last email, or X, Y, and Z? Like, give me some information. I'll give it back to you. Da 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 da. But Meta doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've dealt with too many people that lost their accounts that I have tried to get it back. And only one I've been successful with, maybe two. Since then, my contact has left. And so now I'm kind of in the dark. Like, Instagram will be like, oh yeah, go to this and say you had a hacker and da 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 da, and it does nothing for you. It literally takes you back to the help page. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. It takes you back to the help page of, oh, you had a hacker. No shit, homie. Like, what can I put in to get my shit back?
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah.
But we do have a question here,
Go for it.
because we are on the holidays and we're ranting, and I love to rant. But what's the best way you recommend people use their money while traveling during the holidays, even just getting gas? Tap, CC with PIN, PayPal, etc.
All right. If you're asking me,
Yes.
I'm a little different, right? I'm a little weird and old school. Not until about no, wait, now I'm lying. I'm 38. Fuck, I'm getting old. And so, like,
I'm
maybe 10 years.
36. I'll be 37 next month. Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
We're
I just
not
turned
old.
38.
You're only as old as you want to be.
Yeah.
I'm 22,
And
bitch.
about like 10 years ago now, just before my daughter was born, I used to keep money under my bed, right? That's how I didn't trust banks. If I worked, I
Still
just
don't
cashed
trust
my
banks.
check, and I just had money in pretty much like the old school guineas, right? And if you guys don't know what a guinea is, an Italian person. But so yeah, so to answer your question, dude, still till today, I use a credit card. That's just me. Obviously, because if someone robs me, I just get a new card, and they give me my money back anyway, or just cash, right? Because obviously cash, you can purchase whatever you're purchasing. You don't have to worry about someone, stealing your identity or whatever. But if you're like, paranoid Patricia, then, better to be, walk around with some cash and buy everything like that. Um, I don't think that's only about the holidays. That's how I live, right? I don't live.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even have a debit card. I don't have none of that. I just have a credit card and cash.
And so, in general, the way I operate, I use Tap for everything that I can. And actually, I will use my phone if possible,
Mm,
because it doesn't send your credit card across the line. It sends a random number that is developed by your phone, whatever the case may be. Da 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 da. So I will use that. But cash is king.
hmm
If you have the cash, use cash. If you're getting gas and they have a tap to use the tap. As far as I know, now I could be wrong. I have not seen. I don't work for a gas station anymore, so I don't know. But as far as I know, the skimmers have not found a way to bypass a lot of these tap to pay things.
hmm
Use the tap to pay. Use the NFC. Use the capability of your card. That'll help. If you have to use anything else, use a PIN, or hopefully you have a chip card. But even then, there are new skimmers out that will read the chip, read your PIN, and take all your information. Tap and cash are the best way to pay. If you're buying things online, PayPal, maybe. They're really good, but at the same time, they can be really shitty. It depends on
hmm
what's going on. They could go both ways.
hmm
But use third parties that give different information and can't take all your money. I mean, that's legitimately it. And if you have PayPal, don't link a credit card or a bank account to it. Send money to it every so often, but do not link anything to it. Then if they get your PayPal, they can't get your credit card or your bank information.
Yep. And that's where, if for the folks that don't really know me and don't know my background and how I got into this world, right? Since we're on the cybersecurity rant, that's how I got into cyber, was through getting my PayPal hacked.
You had your
And
PayPal hacked?
yeah. Yep.
Damn.
14 years ago now, 14, 15 years ago, like I was selling sneakers on
Holy
eBay,
crap, it's been that
right?
long?
Yeah. So yeah, I was
I can't
25.
believe PayPal's been around that long. damn it, I am 36. It is 2023 going on 2024. Holy shit. Damn, we're
Yeah.
getting old. No, we're not. I refuse to believe it. We're not getting old. I
Yes.
do have another question though. Bonus question. Thoughts on all the money sharing apps, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, etc. What are your takes on those, Pat?
Yeah. So thoughts on it. So I guess from a security perspective, like I don't use Venmo or really Cash App. I use Zelle. I do use Zelle. Like if I'm, for example, if I'm going to send someone money, my friends or my dad. My dad finally got a bank account like 2 years ago.
But
Yeah, literally,
that's
like,
because you're like, dude, you're like from the Bronx, man. You like literally,
yeah, like
you
my
are
dad.
the stereotypical mafia. Like, I'm gonna keep my cash under my bed. Your dad did it. Your grandpa did it. Your great grandpa did it. It's under the bed. I ain't fucking with the banks.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because yeah, it's true. But yeah, like Zelle, Zelle, I wouldn't mind, but I don't fuck with Cash App or Venmo or any of those. Like I don't. I think I have a
See,
Cash App account. I still do, but I don't really mess with it.
so here's the crazy part is I don't know, maybe it's because of their lack of agreement with the government and the way they do things. I trust Cash App more than I trust anything else. I don't trust the government. They don't either. So it's kind of one of those things. But I do. I use all of them personally. Do I trust their security? No. Do I trust that they're going to keep your money safe? No. Do I trust they're going to keep your data safe? No. But that's because when it comes to tech, I don't trust any of these organizations. It has nothing to do with like a personal vendetta or like anything like that. It's just the only secure computer is unplugged, 6 feet underground in a lead and concrete lined box.
Yep.
Like, for me, I use them all strictly because I need to make money. Like,
Hmm.
so you want to Venmo me money, Cash App me money, send me it through Zelle. I got them all. I got every way you can support the channel, including merchandise and PayPal and everything else. Like, I have all that, but to say what to use, if it were up to me, we would all be on Signal and using cash to pay for shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
me.
And you made a good point, like, right, like same thing for me, right? Supporting the channel, everything, like, yeah, like I try to push people. Like I had a Patreon, I had buy me a coffee, buy me this, but I'd rather just have everything on the one pane of glass. Is join the channel, become a member for whatever it is. I don't know, a couple of dollars, and then like that's it, right? Like, and then it's like goes through my Gmail, whatever the
But I
Google ad.
have all of the. Well, I got rid of Patreon.
Yeah,
I still
I
buy me a
never got rid
coffee.
of. I never gotten any Patreon, so I didn't know I
And
could use it.
I still have Cash App and Venmo isn't in any of my links, even though I have a Venmo for the channel. Um, I have a PayPal for the channel. I don't think I put it in any of the links, but it's on my website. But I, for me, it's about I don't do this for money. So if you want to send me money, I'll tell you how. I'll give you every way possible. But that's not why I do this.
Hmm.
So like, I don't even get ad rev for my shit. Like I literally don't have enough watch hours to get ad revenue. My revenue comes from super chats and tips after the show.
Yep.
I literally make no money from doing this. So for me, it's just I do it in case somebody asks.
Yeah.
Or because my sisters may be like, hey, we're pitching in on gifts for mom and dad. Send me money. What app? Pick one. I prefer Zelle, but pick whatever you want. I got them all. I'll send money and send it to you. Like
Yeah.
that's how I do things.
And that's so critical that you're saying that, right? Because I think talking about the content creation, like if you're doing this for the cash and not really for the passion, it's it's going to be a long road for you, right?
Oh, is it ever? Dude,
You
don't get me
know,
wrong. I wish I could retire off this channel. I really wish I could, but it's not why I do it. So it's not going to happen.
yeah, and I really don't know the tricks and tips of
Oh, I
all
know
the
them. I just refuse to do it.
like I don't know them. Like literally, you can like for example, I can upload a video and I'll get like my most viewed video on my channel is like 350,000 views, and it's how to hack Wi-Fi, right? And then I'll post one like this now. These videos now I'm posting is the advert of Cyber 2023. Each day I'm doing
I
a
love those
challenge.
videos.
Yeah, thank you. And it's like, and I go out of the, I don't watch the walkthrough until after, and I'm like, fuck, I could have done it that, and I would have saved me 5 minutes, right? But especially like right now, like yesterday and today was the machine learning. I don't do shit with ML or AI, and I don't do stuff with that. So it's like everything I'm doing, I'm literally just following my steps. I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing in Juniper Notes and this and that. I never used that in my life, right? So it's and then those videos, it's like, okay, you get 500 views. It's like, all right, where the fuck are the 300,000 people that watched that one video? And that's what I really don't understand. Like, if it's even 10,000 views for
They
a
didn't
video,
watch it all, so there's no ad rev.
yeah.
That's
Or
that's
it's just
that's
like,
all it comes
where are
down
those
to.
300,000 people? Like, even think about it. If it's 300,000 people, right? And say, for example, every other one subscribed, that should be 150,000 180,000 subscribers, right? It's like, what did like that's another thing I never really understood. It's like, how do you can't go force them to subscribe.
So all right. So we're on the content creation kick, and I'm all for it because content creator myself. I don't do tech videos anymore. People
Hmm.
can get pissed. You don't want to follow me anymore or subscribe. Fucking go ahead. I don't care. I'm not here for you. I'm here for the people that I'm trying to get jobs. I'm trying to get their name out there. I'm trying to help them out. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm here for. But when you're looking at it, the only place that really counts seconds viewed in actual view time is TikTok.
Mm.
TikTok
I don't
is the
even know how
only
to use
one that will pay
TikTok.
you off of view time. YouTube will only pay you off of ad rev. Well, not
Hmm.
only, again, super chats, tips, things
Yep.
like that, but ad rev. So if somebody only watched 5-10 seconds, or they have an ad blocker up, or they have whatever up, you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
But you're getting that view. It'll say somebody watched your show. It'll
Yeah.
say somebody watched your video, whatever the case may be, but
Hmm.
you're not getting the ad revenue from it because they're not watching long enough to hit the ad. Or if they are, they have an ad blocker that's stopping it. So you're not getting paid because there's an ad blocker in place. So when we look at this and we're looking at the holidays, we're looking at things going on. For those that are content creators, for those, Griffin InfoSec, De Novo, who just showed up, Space Tacos, Misha, anybody else watching, I don't get ad rev. You want to put up a pop-up blocker, whatever. I don't get the money for it because y'all don't love me enough to watch for an hour, whatever the case may be. But for those that you're watching that have ads, unless you're paying for YouTube Premium, which then will still pay the creator for watching the entire video. But if you're not paying for that, those ad blockers hurt those people. If you like their content, disable your ad block on YouTube.
Hmm.
Please watch the 5, 10, 15-second ad, 30 seconds. Wait till it says skip and hit skip it, but leave it up until you can skip it because that is how these people get paid. That is how they're making money. And for the holidays, for a lot of people, that is how they earn their revenue. That is
Hmm.
how they make money. Not by you giving them money, by you taking 30 seconds to a minute out of your day to watch a dumbass ad that doesn't mean anything to you. Fucking let it sit up there and run. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
What's it hurting you but 30 seconds to a minute? You can have another tab up and let that shit play. The same thing goes for my entire security happy hour playlist. Let that shit play. Maybe then eventually I'll make ad revenue. Let it run through. I've got 100 and some videos and over 4,700 subscribers. Fucking let it play. I'd actually be monetized by now.
Yeah.
But
No, exactly. And that was the thing for me, like getting those hours. The subscribers came super quick. Like, I don't
dude,
know,
I'm at
like,
4,761 as of today.
yeah.
4,761 subscribers and only 3,000 and some odd watch hours. Like, I don't do tech videos, so I'm not going to hit the hours that other people do, and I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I really don't fucking care. I do and I don't. I do because I
Yeah.
like to think this show means something to
Oh,
people,
of course.
and I don't because I got a full-time job, I make good money, and I fucking provide for my family. Like, this
Absolutely.
show is literally for everybody else but me.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's literally like the way I feel about my channel, right? It's like I'm doing it right behind this, behind the camera. I'm doing well for myself. It's for you guys, right? It's like, okay, I'm providing this. Hopefully, this is informative for you guys and it's helping you with whatever. If it's landing a job, if you're watching my video on how to add a computer to a domain because you're a brand new help desk person, and you're like, fuck, I don't know how to, I'm stuck. And I just Google or YouTube, how to add a computer to a domain or how to do this or whatever. And my stupid video comes up or whatever the case may be. However, people find me, I don't know. But I think it's super important for people to know, like, content creators, I don't think do it for themselves. They do it for you.
They
Because
do
a
it.
lot of
They do it because they love it. Because
yeah,
because they're passionate about it. Because you will see, and this again goes back to whether it's music reaction people,
yeah,
technical people, whatever the case may be, whatever you're watching, they didn't do it for themselves. They love what they do, but they did it to provide back and give something back to the community in whatever way, shape, and form.
yeah,
So take it, learn it, grow from it, do whatever you want to do, leave a comment, share it, like the video. If you don't like it, hit the fucking thumbs down. It doesn't matter, but react.
yeah,
And for the holidays, for what's going on in this world, for everything else that's out there, the least you can do is react, comment, share, all this other stuff because it helps the creators that are providing. And
yeah,
look, if you want to be a troll, go ahead, troll my fucking comments. I don't care. You're going to push the fucking algorithm. I really don't care. Go ahead, be an asshole. I'm an asshole too. We can go rounds. It doesn't bother me. Push the algorithm in the video to the top. Like,
yeah,
that's the way I look at things. We all need haters. And if you ain't got anyone to hate on, feel free to hate on me. As Cat Williams said. Like,
yeah,
go for it. But when it comes to the holidays, just show some love to the people that you watch and follow in on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, on whatever, your own family. Show
yeah,
some love, give back to them. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be as simple as I gave an hour out of my day to hit play and walk away. Like that
yeah,
that literally is all it needs to be.
yeah. And you can even put it on mute.
Dude, I tell people that shit all the time. I'm like, literally, mute my video and hit play. Literally, hit the playlist, hit mute, let that shit run. You're golden. I don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
And then tomorrow put a VPN on and do it again.
Right? Like, I just don't give a damn. But if you're gonna sit there and say you love and appreciate people and oh, I love everything you do, cool. When's the last video you watched? Oh, like 6 months to a year ago. Then you
Yeah,
don't love what I do because you don't know what I do. Like you
exactly.
haven't been
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
There are music artists out there that I watch every video they put out on YouTube. Every time they release a video, I am there to watch it.
Yeah.
Why?
Me too.
Because I love
Yeah.
their music, I love what they do, and I want to support them. I'm not gonna buy their shit, but I will watch a video that give them ad revenue.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do that. But if you're not willing to sit there and deal with it with me, then you don't really appreciate what I do because you're not willing to put the shit on mute and give a fuck.
Yeah. No, I never thought about that. And it's true. And it's true. You know what I mean? It's it's definitely something like, for example, for you, you have 3,000 something watch hours, and 1,000 hours is a lot, right? It's a
Yeah,
lot to, so say for example, you have whatever, how many, you have 14 or 15 videos in one of your playlists, that's 14 hours. So if, let's do the
I
math
have
here,
a
right?
hundred and as of today, it'll probably be 159. I believe this is my 159th, if not 160th episode of Security Happy Hour. Over 150 episodes of this show, over 4,000 subscribers, 4,761 to be exact. Last time I checked earlier today, and I'm only at 3,000 and some watch hours. So
Yeah.
that tells
So
you that those 4,700 and some people aren't watching an hour's worth of a single episode in a week.
Yeah. So what we can do for Derek today and for Christmas, right? For the holidays, let's say holidays because everyone maybe not be celebrating Christmas, is just go to that fucking playlist, hit play, make sure you're subscribed, hit play, and whatever, fucking put it on mute. And that's hopefully by the end of the year. That's in what, 2.5 weeks? Hopefully we can hit that, right? So just do that, man. Like help the guy out, and that's the least you can do. And
And,
I
and,
I'm
and
definitely gonna
again,
do that. I
it
haven't
doesn't
done
come
that.
down to when I look at the holidays, I look at giving back.
Hmm.
I look at people like KevTech, like yourself, like Chris Cochran and what he's done with Hacker Valley Media and him and Ron Eddings and their wives and things like that. I look at the Sans Difference Maker Rewards. I look at the Cyber Queens. I look at all these people and I'm like, they're doing great things. I
Hmm.
love what they do.
Hmm.
I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's so true
can't
because
compete.
it's crazy. Like with the Cyber Queens, right? With Amber, Erica, and I forgot the other one. Who's the other one? Amber, Erica,
Meryl.
yeah. Like, and I'm actually gonna have Amber and Erica on my
Oh, you got a
Thursday.
hold of Amber? I ain't been able to get a hold of her yet.
Yeah, no, I've known Amber for years, man. Like before she even blew up with her little kids book and everything, her cyber kids book. Like I've known Amber probably like 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. I think 4 years now. I think once I started YouTube, we chatted, and she was going to do a YouTube, and then she started doing her. She was working as a sales rep, a sales
I
person.
tried to get a hold of. I don't think Amber likes me. I don't know why, but I don't think she does. Because I tried to get a hold of her to get on this show, and she never responded.
No, I think she's so busy now. I haven't talked to her. I talked to her recently, not too recently, but like I've talked to her, and because she asked me how my daughter, actually how her son's doing, her family, and yeah, she's definitely not an easy person to get a hold of. And you'll write her, "Hey, how's it going? How's the fam?" And she'll write to you like a week later, "Oh, I was doing this because she was at a
Oh,
book
you got a week
show."
later? I still haven't been responded to.
Maybe Amber will check this out.
I
And
love, dude. Look, I love all these people. I've had Meryl. I've had Erica. I've had Natalie, who helped start the Cyber Queens. I've had them all on my show. Natalie now has her own podcast.
yep.
Amber, I got a hold of before she was part of Cyber Queens, before all that shit was going on, and she never responded to me. I think it's because I'm a guy. I don't know. Fucking whatever. But I've tried getting a hold of people. Amber is the one that I have yet to get on. Even
Yeah.
when Meryl and Erica reach out to them. I don't know. Maybe people don't like me. It's the beard, I think. I think it's the beard. They just don't like the Viking look. I don't fucking know.
Like, and I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't know.
I think it's because I'm a Viking. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't fucking care. It is what it is. I've tried. I've reached out like 2-3 times. I don't care.
Yeah.
I love people. If you don't want to be on, you don't want to be on. Fuck you. I don't care. That's the way I look at it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
No, I'm with you on that. Like I'm the same exact way. Like I reached out to folks to come on the Thirsty Thursday, right? Like shoot the shit, whatever, come up with a
Dude, I
topic.
love that you have a Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah. And Thirsty Thursday,
Dude,
drinking
because
green tea.
look, let's be fair. I'm always thirsty. This is now adult chocolate milk, is what it's called.
Yeah. Chris, I'm a guy. Yeah. That's funny. Can't handle flavor
The
saver.
flavor
Yeah.
saver, damn straight owned. That's what it is. It's the flavor saver right here. Like, we're gonna get adult about this shit. But no, hey, we are at the well over the top of the hour. We're at 8:04, going on to 8:05.
Yeah.
Pat, I need 2 things from you.
Mm-hmm.
One, cybersecurity advice for businesses for the holidays. So your blue teams and whatever. And cybersecurity advice for the common folk, right? The those that don't know cybersecurity. So your what do they call them? Your consumers,
Yeah. End users or regular, like, yeah,
end
consumers.
users, regular users, whatever you want to call
Yeah. So the number one thing, all right, good question. And thank you everyone for, tuning in for the hour with Derek and I had a good time. And now I'll go watch the Rangers game after this. So the first one here, and I thought he was talking. So the first one I think is always be aware of the scammers, right? Like the first thing, check your logs, make sure there's no craziness. Be suspicious of any kind of weary uh, emails going into your whatever. If you're using Cofen, so if you're using, Barracuda, whatever you're using for your email filter, and just be more on the lookout, be more alerted. And impersonations, make sure like in possible travels, and so many other things. And for the end users, I think, use a VPN, right? Like there's so many cheap VPNs. Like I use NordVPN on all my devices. And, obviously this is not a sales pitch, but you can go on my channel, there's links on my videos, and you can get NordVPN like 60% off with my link. But endpoint protection, right? You can get, use the built-in security products from Microsoft, right? So you can do that. Make sure you have everything enabled, tampering and all that good stuff. Or you can purchase something and, just be aware, right? Don't be silly. Don't be clicking on anything, and just be aware of anything that looks suspicious. Don't fucking trust anyone. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. DTA, as Stone Cold used to say, which I got the idea from this show, from Broken Skull Sessions. DTA, don't trust anybody. So anybody that doesn't watch wrestling, you won't get the reference. But yeah, I agree. I think phishing, gift cards, things like that, as far as corporate goes, will be a huge factor going forward. For our blue teamers out there, for those that run sim, for those that help do correlation rules, things like that, please be aware. Please be mindful. Set things up for impossible travel. Set things up for brute force into actual authentication, or password spraying into actual authentication, things of that nature. Um, for just residential users, those that are not working for a business, those that are not working for an organization, or just retail or whatever the case may be, legitimately don't click on any text message link in your phone
Mhm.
unless you are told you're getting a text message from a company you're on the phone with. And
Mhm.
yes, I have talked to certain companies. They're like, hey, to authorize your account, you need to click this link. We're going to send a text message to your phone. You're on the phone with them. You know you're going to get it. Okay. But if you just get random text messages from USPS, UPS, Amazon, whatever the case may be, and it's like, hey, click this link to say you authorize this delivery, or whatever the case may be, don't do it. Don't log in. Don't let them steal your information. Don't do any of these things. Even me myself, as a cybersecurity person, I have fallen victim to certain phishing and social engineering tactics. My wife has fallen victim. It happens to the best of us. This
Mhm.
is why I can sit there and say, do your best, do your due diligence, be on your best behavior, and try not to click anything that you know didn't come from something reliable. Those little 4 or 5 digit numbers that text you, unless you expect it, don't click the links.
Mhm.
Don't do it. It's not necessary. You can legitimately log into the website and see if something's going on. USPS will not text you, will not tell you anything unless you have an account with them. If you
Yep.
do
And they
not
send
have
you
an account with
emails.
them for a delivery, it will not say anything. They will not text you because they ain't got your number. It won't
Yeah,
happen.
there is a lot of DocuSign scams again. Yeah.
Yeah, DocuSign's another one. 365 password about to expire. So many else out there. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just please be mindful. Please be cognizant. Now, saying that, it is the 15th of December. We are in the height of Yule and Christmas and Hanukkah and so many other holidays. I don't care what you celebrate. I love you all. You're all amazing. And I will be back with another episode next week. Who'd have thunk it? And the week after, I got another episode. But I believe it's the 30th that myself, Pat, and so many others are going to be live. So we got a great episode coming to you from InfoSec Pat's channel. I'll probably be sharing it here too on the 30th if I'm able.
Yep.
Otherwise, I love you all. Please take care. Don't fall victim to dumb shit. And I'll see you all next week with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour.
Peace.